I would invite Captain Matt Bolton to come up. He's going to talk to us about the new Naval Engineering SIG and tell us all about that. And just, Matt, welcome and thank you for coming today. I hope you like what you've seen already, and it's a good opportunity for you to be here today. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's been fantastic to hear from so many of our well-established special interest groups today, but it's an enormous honour and privilege for me to launch our newest SIG as the first chairman of the Naval Engineering Special Interest Group. So on reflection, perhaps it's a wonder that we haven't done this already. The Institute, of course, represents numerous active members within the sector that we like to think is naval engineering. And I think that is an important point, because for me, I think it's crucial that we bring naval engineering into the fold under the governance of the TLB and to enable us to interact with the other well-formed SIGs that many of which we've heard of already. I think it's also fair to say that the naval engineering community within the Institute has tended to have been served in the past by a number of fairly significant events, learned society events, such as the International Naval Engineering Conference. And it's upon these successes that we now wish to build, to form that community of interest around naval engineering that provides that ability to share knowledge and drive professionalism in the sector globally. But what about the scope? Well, it is an extremely broad scope, as you wouldn't be surprised to hear. The Naval Engineering SIG will cover all platforms, surface, subsurface, the integration of naval engineering, unmanned and autonomous vehicles, all disciplines, marine engineering, combat systems, platform systems. The sectors, military and Coast Guard, importantly, support ships and auxiliaries, and the full life cycle from design, build, operate, support, through to manpower and training, and the full functionality, the ILITs, capability, availability, sustainability, survivability, and of course regulation and class. So it's a very broad church, and it's quite possible that this SIG could become a super SIG, within which there are a number of working groups and focus groups to focus on a number of specific areas. So let's see where it takes us. So we've met already as a small committee, and we've set ourselves a number of goals and identified what we think our outputs are. So our goals to help to inform the IMO, the other IGOs in terms of regulation with respect to military and security needs. To support the sector in terms of attracting, inspiring, educating, training, developing our professionals in the safe and effective delivery of naval engineering. To promote the identification of technology needs and identifying those solutions that will drive the effectiveness and sustainability of navies and coast guards. And to share knowledge and of course celebrate success. So these are the outputs as we see them. Of course, to build upon the established international conferences, exhibitions and events that traditionally share knowledge and resolve unresolved issues, supporting best practice and identifying emerging technical needs and solutions. Developing vehicles and forums for training and continuous professional development of the people that work in our sector. And these first two bullets I really would want to see develop and explore new opportunities. We'll want to develop and publish positions on issues that affect the naval engineering sector, and we also want to make sure that we identify and develop vehicles for the reward and recognition of good practice and excellence within naval engineering. So on a plan, it sort of looks a little bit like this. We had an extremely successful INEC and ISCSS last year in the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, and this year we intend to run the Engines and Weapons Symposium concurrent with the MEX Symposium in London in July. Next year, we're already planning INEC and ISCSS, that's the International Ship Control System Symposium, in Delft University in the Netherlands. And then, of course, Engine and MEX will run on. But how about INEC in Australia in 2021? How about taking ISCSS to North America in 2022? And this is the ambition that we have as a Naval Engineering SIG. We're already planning on generating a special edition of JMET this year, which will capture some of the best papers from INEC to have been developed further and fully peer-reviewed for publication in the journal, and we will continue to do that. But we also want to generate new content across all media channels, articles in the Marine Professional perhaps, breakfast lectures as other SIGs have done, webinars and other social media content. And it's really open to the membership of the new SIG to generate this new interesting and exciting content. So who are our audiences? Well, of course, the general public, the public who see our publicly generated content, and they will have, of course, visibility of information on the IMarEST website. The membership of the SIG, though, which is open to all members of the IMarEST, will be able to access information, will be able to collaborate and share their experiences on a Nexus group in the same way that the other SIGs operate. And more about that in a moment. And then, of course, the SIG itself will be governed and managed through a small committee of which I will be chairing. On the left-hand side of this slide is the diagram that we drew on the flip chart when we met for the first time. And it has only just occurred to me that this very closely resembles the cross-section of a submarine. So bear with me while I sweat that analogy. The conning tower, the fin, the governance, of course, that is to council via the TLB. The keel, the key outputs to IMO, IGOs, conferences, other media opportunities. Our interaction with our environment, our control surfaces, other SIGs, IGOs, organisations such as UK Nest will need to inform and communicate with them. The ballast, the committee in the bottom of the submarine there, is formed of the chairs of the 4 contributing Learned Society events, INEC, Engine as a Weapon, ISCSS and MEX, noting of course that Kevin chairs a MEX SIG in its own right, and other members to represent the scope of the naval engineering sector. And we are approaching 1 or 2 other people to ensure that we've got that balance correct. But of course the most important thing of any naval platform, the crew that sit in the centre of the submarine. And this is the membership of the Special Interest Group, and it's open to all members of the Institute. And I do encourage you all and all of your colleagues to become a member of the Naval Engineering SIG, to contribute to its development, to its output, to propose new ideas, new suggestions for discussion, and help us to grow this as a really vibrant community of interest. And it's really easy to do. The website is live. The website address is here at the top of the slide. All you have to do is go to the IMarEST website, scroll down, on the right hand side there's a little green box, click on it and join the Naval Engineering SIG. And I look forward to seeing the numbers shooting up over the next few minutes and hours. So with that, I think I can say the Naval Engineering SIG is now launched.
Brilliant, Matt. Thank you very much indeed. And the TLB welcomes you. I think the opportunity for cross-collaboration, the co-creation that we like to do is just opened up enormously because we have so many common interests and areas that we can work together on. So it's great. And thank you very much for presenting.